The average age of a child that's being trafficked right now is 11 years old. And whenever I hear that number and the mere fact that it is the United States, that we are the primary consumers of what you would see content coming out of inappropriate content of children being abused or raped from across the globe, is something that we cannot tolerate as a society. This is Mercedes Schlapp. I am a senior fellow for CPAC. I'm the mother of 5 daughters, and one of the things that I felt has been very important to me is ensuring that they are able to grow in a, happy and loving environment where God is the center of our household. It's about 4 years ago, we went to CPAC Mexico, and Rosie Orozco, one of the former congressmen from Mexico, a champion for anti-human rights policies in Mexico. My husband and I, we went with several our members of our CPAC delegation to an area called Chalco, Mexico, where we met over 4,000 girls that had been rescued and taught by about 50 nuns, the Sisters of Mary. And there, I was really being able to see firsthand how when they are in these victims of human trafficking, these victims of abuse, are in the hands of loving individuals who are there to heal, and also in a God-centered environment, that these girls really would have a chance at a better life. And so for us, that experience of meeting many of these human trafficking victims was something that changed my life forever. And then when I watched the movie The Sound of Freedom, it was very much placed in my heart that at CPAC we had to be the place where we can bring together these coalition partners, provide a platform so we can amplify this message of how we were going to work very hard to not only go after the traffickers, but also to ensure that there is healing for these survivors. And now we are in our 4th year of the CPAC Center for Combating Human Trafficking as the vehicle, as the platform to make this into one of the most important issues that we discuss on the CPAC stage every year, not only here in the United States, but across the globe, and have been incredibly successful in changing policy, not only at the federal level, but at the state level as well.
Human trafficking across our country.
We were intricately involved in working with members of the House and Senate to pass the Trafficking Survivors Relief Act, which was a bipartisan bill, which would basically expunge these records of people that were involved as human trafficking victims, and in essence, where they would have been put in a situation where they would have been prosecuted because they were with their pimp or their human trafficker, and they would get charged with felony charges. And so hence there was no justice for these victims. We've also been involved in several legislative wins in places like Texas, Arkansas, Georgia, and we work closely with different governors. We work very closely with nonprofit organizations, with faith-based organizations like Letitia's House, which they provide assistance to survivors, and have worked with the Department of Justice to ensure that the appropriate funding and resources are going to the right places. I always say that the issue of anti-human trafficking is one that is not Democrat or Republican. It is about humanity. It is about protecting the most vulnerable in our society. So CPAC is hosting its 4th annual International Summit Against Human Trafficking. We bring in partners from all over the globe. We share best practices. We work with the law enforcement, with faith-based organizations, with policymakers to help determine how we can come together, have a unified agenda that then we can move forward and implement at the state and federal level, as well as the international level. And you can join us in this movement.
Human trafficking breaks human beings.
To end human trafficking, go to cpac.org and help us champion this. Help us be champions for these children, for these women, and to stop this horrific and barbaric act against the innocent.
My name is Rosy Orozco, a former congresswoman from Mexico who fought against the cartels and human trafficking. This year, we are launching the Heroes Wanted campaign, shining a light on extraordinary people fighting in the front lines.
So go to kaleido.charity/heroeswanted, watch their stories to help amplify their impact, and vote for the hero who inspires you the most.